Next one. We are now fully caught up. This is where I was planning to start today, but it's good. We'll continue on that. This is Shloka 2 and 11. They are tried to combine together. So imagine that there is a soccer team match tomorrow, and player 1 tells the coach that which position the team is weak in, and player 2 also shows up to practice and he focuses on his or her own practice. Who will choose to be part of your team? Is it player 1 who speaks about problems, or player 2 who shows up at practice and focuses on his own practice? Yes.
Well, the right option could be player 2, but I would choose player 1 because you don't have someone who speaks about the problems and the problems will be fixed.
Any other suggestion, questions? Yes? Which one do you think? If you have to pick one. So there are two. You cannot choose both. You can have one. And also, this I was trying to change this question. So if you have to choose a team captain, who would you want to be your team captain? Then only you can have one player. Maybe you can have both. Maybe I'll next month I'll change team captain.
But I actually give that answer the way they gave it. That was good. Very answer.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. Got it. Sounds good. Yes. Got it. All right. Yes. Yes. Makes sense. Anybody from parents on that side? Yes. Hold on. Here. One more. Sounds good. Switch to there. Yes.
I would also choose option 1, but as per my understanding of this is like player 2 is doing what he's supposed to do.
Correct.
And player 1 is saying how it's supposed to be done.
Correct,
That's
correct.
basically the difference between what
Correct.
and how.
Exactly. Yes.
And I think that's why it fits more on the code, right?
Yeah.
The captain.
Yeah,
Yes.
so code's supposed to tell how
Yeah.
things are
Correct.
done.
Yes.
So I would say, ideally,
Right.
as a coach, I want both these persons to be in my team.
Yeah.
Because if everybody is coming and telling me the weaknesses which are there, that is also not correct. But if somebody is able to come up and see the things in totality and tell where the weaknesses are before the match, and if I am able to fix.
Right.
So ideally, as a coach, I am also supposed to know that.
Correct. Correct.
As long as people are doing their job, they should be fine with my coaching as well.
Makes sense.
Right, so there is a conflict basically. Both
Exactly.
the options are correct. We want both.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I think, to add on what I said, to me, the most important word in this is team.
Correct.
Right? That everybody has to perform,
Right.
right? Not any individual. Like
Correct.
that's if 9 people don't perform and only 1 person performs, you won't win.
Correct. Correct.
So even if you walk a little bit,
Right.
walk together,
Correct.
that's the best foot forward rather than 1 person doing better than another person. So I would choose option 1.
Sounds good.
Emphasis on team.
Yes.
So let me, it was actually, the question was actually not centered. to be honest.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what it is.
Because that's where it became like falling apart.
Yeah.
I know your focus where you're coming from,
Right.
because you're talking about Duryodhan's negative approach of the whole thing. He's
Right.
like comparing,
Right.
like this is bad. But at the same time, he also knows the strength of his own people, right?
Correct, correct.
He calls out Drona, Bhishma, Karna, everyone.
Correct.
Because they are individually powerful.
Correct.
And you're talking in the right sense, but in this analogy, it's a little tricky.
Correct. Now, actually, there is a difference. So, one interesting thing about Gita is everybody has a different interpretation when you read it. So, somebody else raised hand before I move to the next slide. Someone, did I miss somebody?
She was
You have something to add?
Call out each other's needs so that they are attentive.
Correct. So and this is a conflict that we were discussing earlier. We were mentioning like you have life conflicts. This is a conflict we play as a player, maybe it is soccer, maybe in a project. We get into this all the time. Moving to the next slide. Let's try to do so. This is Gita basically stroke number 2 to stroke number 11. There are two ways you can do this. You can go through read each and every slope, or especially in the interest of time, I can just give you a summary and I encourage you all to read on your own. So what starts from slope number 2 is first of all this Sanjay watch. I mentioned Sanskrit. Sanjay is a character who has diversity. Watch means he speaks. Sanjay speaks. And Sanjay speaks that he is describing Duryodhana. Like Duryodhana is walking as the battle is about to start. He approaches Dronacharya, who was a common teacher both for Pandav and Kaurav. He goes to Dronacharya and he speaks following words. He speaks that, hey, look at the Pandu side of army, and this army was set up by Drishtadyumna, and Drishtadyumna is somebody who was born to actually kill Dronacharya, and again there are meanings from that, I'm not going to go into that. And he then describes the whole army of Pandav. So you have Bhim and Arjun, you have Satyaki, you have Virat, you have Drupad, you have Drishtaket, you have Chekitana, all of these are characters on Pandav side. So he goes, Duryodhana describes everybody. Then he said, okay, these are all Pandav sides of warriors. Let's look at my side of warriors, our side. So we have you yourself, Dronacharya, we have Bhishma, we have Karna, we have Krip, we have Ashwatthama, we have Vikarn, we have Bhurisrava. These are the mighty warriors on my side. After analyzing both sides, he says that our side is more stronger because you guys and I have Bhishma, they have Bhim. Bhishma is supposed to be stronger than Bhim. So having said that, and all of these people have various weapons and missiles, and they are ready to give their lives for me. So he is giving a sense that I already know that I am going to win this war, number one. And number two is he also realizes that Bhishma is the most important player in all of these warriors. So he asks that everybody should be guarding Bhishma and make sure Bhishma is safe. As long as Bhishma is safe, they will win the war. So, like I said, when you read these verses, everybody has different interpretation. One of the interpretation I had is Duryodhana is actually being a good leader. If you are, so Duryodhana is supposed to be an evil character or bad character, but he is human as well, and many things he does right. So in this particular part, we can see if you get into a situation, whether it's a soccer match or a project, even if you are a small player, you should try to analyze who is on the other side, who is on your side, what is your strength, what is the other side's strength, you should compare. And again, going back to bias, you should not be biased like, hey, I will win this no matter what. You should try to be neutral. And that's the learning that we get over there from these verses. Like he is trying to compare both sides. If you go to the next slide.
But he's biased versus.
Yeah, and that's the
That
big
is there
part.
too. That is there too.
Exactly. One of the things that led to his downfall was he did not see his weakness. And one of the weakness was like he missed Krishna in all of this. Krishna is one of the key players. Also, he is not a warrior, but he is a very strong player on Pandav side, and he did not even talk about Krishna in all of this. Exactly. So you should not be overconfident. So if you go to the next slide, those are, and this is like very simple meaning I sent as well sometimes. So you can read that as well. Next slide. So we have seen this, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something, say something, share. So that's something to learn. So strategic awareness. Any conflict, whether you are on a battlefield, you are on in your life, you will always, you will be working on project, your school projects, you will in a competition. You should try to analyze like what is your strength, what is your capability. That's number one. And especially if you're a leader, you need to motivate your team. If you're just being quiet and you're not sharing that, your team doesn't really know about what is your strength. So that is something Duryodhana is doing right. He is like motivating and guiding Dronacharya and everyone at there. We are a very strong set of warriors on our side. So we should and we could win this battle. So that's something Duryodhana is doing right. But he is anxious as well. He knows the opposite side is very, very strong. And sometimes he is like boasting, he is like overconfident. So, and the way you present the facts will influence your team morale. So if you have a strong team but you don't present it properly, your team morale will go down, you will lose the war. Leadership protection is another strong area. That's why the leadership position, CEOs and all of this is so important in today's world. Because if you have a good leader, you automatically start winning the war. If you have a bad leader, then some of you and all of you might start getting into leadership position in future. So that's something good to understand. So those are some of the key learnings I had from here. You had a good point as well, like having overconfidence is something that you learn. Can you go back to 2 slides back? Anything else, people who have learned Gita that you want to cover, or any of your favorite slokas from here? We have just 1 minute. I think I will end over here.
So one thing I would like to comment here is that maybe why there is no mention is because of the fact that Krishna said that he will not fight. So he was worried about the fight part of Krishna, but he did not anticipate the coaching power.
Coaching and strategy.
Coaching and strategic part of Krishna. So I think that is what is missed. So in any war project, whatever you are doing, don't underestimate the power of somebody giving you a small tips or advice who is coming from a learned background. It could be your parents, it could be your
Or
peers,
maybe just the presence
or
of
just
that
the
person.
presence of that person kind of influences your chances of winning. And that could be just 1% difference between you winning and not winning.
Correct.
We
And
see the importance of strategy in these areas.
exactly. So that's another important thing. Exactly what my thinking was. Like strategy is people say that we have missiles. Like we are very strong in any war. We have a strong team. Like all of that comes later. If you have a strong strategy, like that becomes very, very key thing. So if you have somebody in your team who can build a very powerful strategy, like that's a very, very powerful thing to have. And Duryodhana completely missed that part. Like I don't have stronger people on my side who can build strong strategy, and their side have a very strong person who can be very, very strategic. And there are some other good nuggets over here. He used wisdom when he is trying to provoke Acharya. So that's very, very interesting because Vishnu was supposed to kill him. Anything else?
Just one observation. Like all the people on both these sides which are mentioned here, they are the ones who can on their own win everything, right?
Correct.
That's of the best.
Yeah.
But one difference was that they did not speak for themselves. And if you do not decide for themselves, an incompetent person will decide for you, and that will make you feel that which side of the party.
Correct. So either you have to be a leader, become a leader yourself, or you have to serve against somebody who is not. So this is a classic example.
Yeah.
They are actually stronger warrior than him, but they did not become a leader, so now they have to serve under the
Scheme
superior.
follows
Yes.
up. It is very smart.
Yes.
Who's the leader of
Vedyas.
Lesbians?
Yes.
He was writing everything Krishna was saying.
Correct.
But then how is he writing everything Sanjay is saying?
He can see everything. So Vedyas is somebody who was the super consistent. Vedyas actually gives the power to Sanjay.
Oh.
So you imagine you have multiple TV, multiple monitors. You are watching a movie on one and you are watching a sports on the other. So he can see Sanjay, he can see the live telecast, he can see everything.
Was he hearing the or was he there doing the or was he
He is like he was watching. So Vedyas was like writing.
He was like Sanjay, he was far away.
Correct. Yeah. And he also had more superpowers. He could travel, you can see in time as well. You can see the future, you can see the past. So that's why he actually gave that power to Sanjay. It was a very small part of his own power. That's a good question because that's a question. Yes.
He even had the option, Duryodhan had the option to actually choose between Krishna or his army.
Correct.
But he was so blinded by his ego, I guess,
Correct.
is the only word that I can think
Yes.
of at the moment, that he picked the army.
Correct.
Like, I mean, as an audience,
Yes.
like when I was watching this, I was like, oh my god, that's the dumbest decision.
Exactly. Yes.
Actually, he had Dronacharya. Dronacharya taught everybody, right? He was the teacher. I think as you see, whatever he chose was the best people. Dronacharya was the best because he taught everybody. He's a guru. He's kind of equivalent to Krishna that he got. And then if he got the army of